hard to so you just fine. So if you ever see him, just call him Mac.
Woody, obviously, unbelievable what you've done here in the recruiting class that's coming in, without question. But no team in the country had more success in the portal than Indiana did this year. From your conversations with the incoming players, what were the one and two things that appealed to them most about coming to Indiana?
First of all, before I answer that, I want to talk a little bit about this past season. Tough season. I don't think no one came into the season thinking we wouldn't make the tournament. But it's a process. I've been around basketball a long time. I've seen a lot of basketball games, been a part of basketball games as a player and coach. And sometimes things just don't work out. Meaning, and I'm not one for excuses, but when you lose your senior point guard, it's tough. And you have to rely on a freshman point guard who played his ass off, gave up. Let's give it a So I'm sick at the stomach going through this summer knowing that we didn't make the tournament last year. I didn't come here for that. So a lot had to be done this summer in terms of getting into the portal and making sure we're not in this position again this time next season. So I ask that you hang in there with us, and it's obvious you're here supporting us, which I truly appreciate. But I got a lot of work to do this summer to make sure that we're not in that position again. All right, let's ask.
So what appealed to these players that you've been able to recruit out of the portal about Indiana University and about the program?
Well, let me just say this. It's a different day. It's a different time in college sports. I think back to when I came to IU. I didn't really come to IU because of Indiana University. I came to IU because of Bob Knight. I really did. And those days, they're gone. Bob Knight basically shaped my career, shaped me as a man, on and off the court. That's why I came to Indiana. I wanted to play for the best coach in college basketball, and he was. And I still think But when I look at these young players today that you're recruiting, there's a lot that you got to sell. Yeah, I got to sell this university. I got to sell education because I still think that's something that's missing with a lot of these young players. They don't get talked enough about. And when I'm selling them to come here, they look at me as a coach. Can I lead them? Can I help them get to that next step? And I've been there. I spent 34 years of my life. What better person to come and play for? It's kind of how I look at it. I don't mean that in a braggadocious way. So when I set out along with my staff this summer, we kind of treated it like the NBA. We ranked the top guards, the ones, the twos, the threes. We ranked the 4-man, the 5-man. I'm talking about position when really in basketball there's really no position the way we play today. And in ranking them, I wanted the best players to wear an Indiana uniform. And when I first got the job, my coaches would tell me, well, you had to wait your turn. Well, I never believed that. Win or lose, I've always felt as a coach, I can go get a player who's willing to listen and learn and make him a better player. And it was a process this summer in fielding the players. I went and tried to get the best players, the best perimeter players, and Miles, and then Kanan Carlisle, those two guys were players that have done it a year, were very well thought of in their conference, and it was a different type of player than those two that we hadn't had since I've been here. And they remind me of players that I've coached throughout my career as a coach in the NBA. So these guys got a chance to be pretty damn good players for us. But I just gotta put them in the right position to be successful. That's what it's about. Ballo is the #1 center in the portal. It was grumblings that, hey, he might go in the portal. And I told my coaches, well, hell, if he do, we better be sitting at the table. And as soon as he went in, I made the call. He gave me an opportunity to bring him to campus. That's the beauty about Indiana University campus, man. You get him down here, you got a shot. And we got him here, and he never left. So I'm pleased, Don, and everyone in the room with the players that we fielded this summer, knowing that there's a lot of work still ahead. I mean, we had 10 new faces last year, including our walk-on, and we got about 6 or 7 this year. So a lot of work has got to be done, but I feel good.
In regard to Ballo, obviously you've had Trace, and now Khalil, really good centers, really good post players. What are the similarities or differences with Ballo compared to those two guys?
More mature. You know, Trace Jackson Davis had to grow into it. Where he's an untapped player, we got him from Oregon, where they said he was lazy, didn't want to work. Shit, after the first month, he knew what work was all about. And the progress that he made has propelled him now as a potential first-round draft pick. So he made a major jump. But this Ballo man is a man. He's an older man that's won at a high level. He's well coached. He wanted to be here. He wanted to play, continue to play on a big stage. It doesn't get much bigger than Indiana basketball. And I think he's a leader. You know, and only time will tell. But just from a basketball standpoint, he's very knowledgeable of the game. He rebounds, he blocks shots, he can score the ball, he runs the floor. He does everything that you want in a big. So I just gotta not screw it up and help him.
Coach Miles Rising, David Carlisle arrived with 3 years of eligibility remaining, which is huge. As you were evaluating guards in the portal, how important was it to you that the players had multiple years of eligibility remaining, if that was important, or was that more of an added bonus?
No, I think it's very important. Because you don't know, I mean, every kid you coach, man, they want to play in the NBA. And, you know, I'll never bust a kid's dream, man, because that was my dream. But it's tough making it into the NBA. Your chances are slim, man. That's why education to me is still important, you know. And a lot of coaches are not pushing it, but I'm pushing it first. So when you got a kid that's a freshman, sophomore, he has a chance to grow with it, unless he just knocks it out of the park and he gets that opportunity like Jalen Savino did. But only time will tell. You know, I don't know that going in, but I do know I got 2 talented young guards that could possibly be with us for another 2 or 3 years. That was the bonus behind it.
Coach, how do you prioritize high school recruiting now with the transfer portal, as much involvement as you have to get in with that?
You still got to stay serious about high school players. There's a number of players that we're recruiting here in the state and around the country that you got to stay involved with. And, you know, my thing is, if I'm a high school player today, and if Mike Woodson offers me a scholarship to come to Indiana, shit, I'm saying, I'm coming like right now. changed the game. It really has. And we're recruiting the best players here in our state. They all been offered scholarships, but they gotta make the commitment, you know? And I'll continue to knock on the doors and pick up the phone and call these young men and invite them to Indiana University and make sure that we're doing all the necessary things to secure these kids to wear a uniform in Indiana. But they gotta say yes, you know? And they do. They'll wear a uniform, and I'll be happy as hell. But the way the process is now, if they don't, you can't stop there, you know what I mean? That's why the portal is where it is. That's why it has put us in the position that we're in today.
Mackenzie Mgbako has been talked about tonight a couple of times. He struggled a little bit as a freshman, but grew over the year pretty dramatically, especially getting co-Big Ten Freshman of the Year honors at the end of the season. Talk about how his development took place over the course of the year and what realistic expectations are for this coming season.
You know, I think back when we started with that young man, you know, everybody, they put these tags on these young men. Hey, he's a 5-star, 4-star. What the hell does that mean? Really? You know, and that's no knock to how they set the system up. You still got to play the game. You know, it's a major jump from high school to college. It's a major jump from college to the NBA. I'm a guy that lived it. And that guy came in here and the media they weren't right. I'll be the first to say that. And I know you media people are here. You didn't do it right. And that kid had to learn the college game just like all high school kids have to. And he made the turn, he made the jump. His improvement from where he started to where he finished is amazing. And he had a lot to do with it, the hard work that we pushed him, and my staff and I. He was right on time, man. I mean, so I can't help but think in this upcoming season, he'll make another jump. He's been working his butt off this summer. You know, I couldn't be more proud of the kid because, again, it wasn't right, some of the things that were said about him early on. And he continued to work through it, and he got better. I can't help but think we'll continue to get better as he gets better as well.
Mike, the arrival of 5 proven portal players, McDonald's All-American, Bryson Tucker. We haven't talked much about him. How do you think roles or maybe the demands change for the returning players on this ball club like Trey, Malik, Mackenzie, so on?
Competition is good. You know, if you're scared of competition, you shouldn't wear any uniform. You know, and we basically, the first few years, we just was piecing things along based on what I took over when I took this job. And make no mistake about it, people. Nobody want to win at Indiana University basketball more than Mike Woodson. No one. You know, I took this job because I want to get IU back on top where it should be. There was a lot of surrounding things said about this program this past season that didn't sit well with me because I want to win in the worst way. That's why this summer, going through what we went through, it's kind of delightful, but going through what we went through last season, it makes me kind of sick at the stomach. So something's got to be done. And like I said, I'm happy about the people that we fielded this summer, but there's a lot of work that's got to be done to make sure that we're not sitting here next year saying the same thing. I got to win a Big Ten title in the national somehow.
All right, Coach, during your tenure, you've gotten the program back to the NCAA tournament following a 5-year absence and back in conversation with the best high school and transfer portal players. As you look toward the program taking the next step, what is your formula for success for the program and its quest to win those championships?
It takes a little luck. It takes your team to be healthy. It takes having talent, which we've had talent Probably not as much as I want, but this summer, we have added a lot of talented players. First time since I've been here, I can truly say that. And only time will tell. We start June the 3rd. We've got an 8-week program that we go through every summer. And they'll get a chance to know Mike Woodson and his staff in terms of pushing them and getting them ready to go for this upcoming season. That's what I'm looking forward to, because it's exciting times here in Indiana again, and I want to keep it that way.
Coach, just a quick final question. How's Trey Galloway doing? Obviously, he had some surgery that was pretty significant, I understand. And I'll think about the other player I was thinking about after your comment.
No, he's on the mend. He's working. Rehabbing to get back out on the floor. I'll get more of an update tomorrow when we get in the office there and see exactly where he is. But he's working. That's all I can tell you. You know, and he's a big piece to the puzzle based on his play over the last few years. But he's got some help now, and that's the beauty about what we've done this summer in terms of going into the portal and adding guys that we've added.
All right, Coach, I told you before, I'm really excited about this upcoming season. Just like I'm about football, I think Indiana University's got something special coming up this new year.
Well, thank you. I want to thank everybody in here, too, your family and your staff. Executive assistant is here, Nikki House. Stand up, thank you. All of our athletes, Miles, I see you back there, you and Anthony. Thanks for coming down. You have no idea. Just whisper in his ear, because we're going to really bust his butt. This is not Washington State. Nick, where's Nick? Nick works for me in my office here. RJ, thanks for coming down. Adams, and last but not least, my coach, Ms. Woodson. That's 48 years. That's my coach.